guy during
I don't think that's ever gonna happen. What
one guy murdered his wife.
Oh, Remus? that story's just fucked. He
must have had a good lawyer.
He did have he was his own lawyer. The nation felt for him. The jury just felt sad for him. They're like, oh, this poor guy. His wife left him while he was in prison. He's not guilty. 15 minutes. That's all they deliberated for. That's all they deliberated for. They literally walked in the room, said, "Oh man, I feel so bad for him. Like, yeah, he shot his wife, but you just got to feel for the guy, right? Like, his wife left him, Well, I guess we're done with this. All right, let's go tell the judge. Like that. That's what happened.
Prohibition, man.
Prohibition. What a time to be alive. In the roaring 20s.
Yeah, the transition.
I would love, if I had a time machine, that would be one of the first things I would do. Go to New York City or like Chicago, right?
Go to Speakeasy.
1920, make it like 1920, right? 1921, and go into a Speakeasy because like there's no legal drinking age because it's illegal to begin with. So there's everything gets thrown.
Everybody was there. The thing is,
like everybody knew about them because that's how the cops, got a lot of their salary came from them places.
Yeah, they were the ones drinking with them.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It united, honestly. It was transitioning to the next topic. It just united people. I feel like there's,
Yeah, everybody hated it. Doesn't matter who it was. Everybody hated the act of prohibition. I mean, that's how it was even to start, though. They were all in support of it because of the anti-saloon league's propaganda.
There's everybody there.
But once they realized how much bullshit it was, everybody was there. There was there was probably racism, just like there was everywhere in the 20s. But
there's black
that was the
people,
first time you see black people, white people in the same bar.
There's women too, and that was never seen before. Yeah. They're out talking, getting drunk in front of guys, and having a good time.
How dare they?
I know, that isn't a different time.
It was a different time.
But I feel like, what would have happened if just stayed like that? I think our country would be united a lot faster. Or we wouldn't have this bullshit that we see today, or
if we never got rid of prohibition and it was just something that everybody could be like, oh, fucking prohibition. No, because there's a partisan divide everywhere in the country. For example, let's look at it this way, right? Agreeing on one issue isn't going to change that. So we live in Pennsylvania, right? And there's about 50-50 split, I would say, here, because there's a lot of country folks in rural areas that are primarily conservative, and there's cities like Philadelphia, Erie, that are primarily like Pittsburgh. Oh, Pittsburgh's kind of a conservative place. They're primarily left-leaning. So, we all agree on one thing. Pennsylvania roads fucking suck, right? We put more not necessarily more funding in there. We need to hire other people, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we're unified. We're still divided. Yeah, some people just agree on one thing. Like everybody agrees, oh, Jeffrey Dahmer, he was an asshole. Good thing he's dead. But that doesn't mean that we're all happy with everything else.
Yeah, roads are bad here, but I don't know. I feel like we would have been united a little bit more if they kept the speakeasies open.
I don't see it. I think it would have been they kept them open even after Prohibition was appealed. Oh yeah, you have to go in this secret area inside of a fucking townhouse. I could go to that nice bar right there. Thank you.
That's true. Mm-hmm. But they're all just different times, and I don't know.
It was definitely it would have been something because a lot of times in speakeasies, what else they have? They have the legal gambling rinks. And if you want to one of Capone's, they got the prostitution rinks.
Oh, I'm sure they also have any hardcore drug you want too.
Narcotics kind of came in later on. A lot of the big mob bosses, if you don't believe it, were actually against narcotics.
Right.
And, yeah.
But they were forced into actually selling narcotics then after the Prohibition.
Yeah, a lot of them were to kind of keep the game going. But then who started with the narcotics? Who really got into narcotics? Guys like King David, Black Disciples, Gangster Disciples. They saw what happened to guys like Capone and stuff, like Capone, Moran. They made all this money, although Moran kind of lost all of his money towards the end there. They made all this money, and they got in jail for these petty crimes, tax evasion, 10 years. Capone died in a mansion. You do know that, right?
Yeah, that's the only way you could catch him. That's the only way they can catch anybody.
That's the only way they could. They realize, so if this is done right, I think it could keep going for a while. And then I think it went all the way until like 2005, and then they found like the original building that King David, basically created in Chicago. They like drug raided it, and they were done. But then by that time, David was long dead. So
it's way past it. You can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Chicago is the #1 place for mobs and all that mafia.
Yeah, I mean, there's still to this day.
Oh, it's everywhere.
You got the gangster disciples and the black disciples. They're still around. It's just that instead of fighting over territory, they just kind of make money off of music. This is what they do, right? Kill someone, make a song about that person, reference them in the song, and make a dance about killing someone. It's basically a dance song about killing someone. It makes a lot of money. You wouldn't believe it. Like, everybody loves it. Like, oh, this is so savage. Like, you got the fucking 12-year-olds in houses that look much like this singing it in white neighborhoods. They're like, oh, yeah. Like, And I'm not saying drill music is bad. Just saying that, like,
well, I feel
we
like
really need to do a better job of policing these areas, because there's a lot of times where songs like that get made after a murder, and then they'll name the suspect in the song, and then he gets off. So we need to take a good look at shit like that. I don't think it's the music that's the problem. I think it's the problems that are creating the music is the problem.
So
I think we need to fund the inner city schools more. I think we need to, get some detectives that could actually solve murders in Chicago.
But going back to the music part, you're going we'll talk about that. But going to the music part, music is art. You can't really charge against it.
They can't charge against it. That's the thing.
It's all art. It's all creativity.
It's an interesting loophole.
But I think it's also another interesting loophole, like how videos, you could charge against videos.
I think you could charge against videos, but people don't really consider that art yet. They will eventually.
It's art. You edit a video, it's art.
I think it's art.
It's a piece
of
art.
A lot of people don't consider it as art.
It's all it is. That's all videos is. And the sad part is, it's good that we have security cameras and cameras these days to stop murders and everything, to a certain extent. If you want to charge security cameras for murder and, other drug-related crimes, why shouldn't we charge the music then? Like you were saying.
Well, because it's not art if someone films themselves killing and raping a woman. That's not art.
That's fair.
Or even if they film themselves, they film themselves with 100 bills and a gun, threatening someone that they are going to shoot them, that is not art. That is a threat done digitally. They're like, I will real deal kill you. That one guy on the Raiders, he's just like, I'll real deal kill you. He's just waving a gun.
Well, why can't we charge lyrics then? If you're saying basically I'm going to kill this person in a song, why can't we charge them? Because it's art.
Well,
but you can argue the same.
But that's not. Usually the threats aren't the thing. That's not. They don't usually. Sometimes they'll threaten people in songs, but usually it's after the actions have been done, and it's usually a person who didn't actually kill them. It's just someone saying like, "Blicky got shot."
So say if you do that same thing in a video, say if somebody's like, "Oh yeah, this guy got shot."
Be like, if someone went on a video online, they say, "Yeah, one of my boys shot this punk ass motherfucker. Yeah, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Yeah, so happy he's dead." You can't criminally charge that guy. He's in his First Amendment right because he's not threatening to kill someone. He's just commenting on the death of someone, saying how he enjoys it, and he didn't incriminate any of his friends. Now, sometimes they do incriminate shooters, and hell, that actually gotten some shooters arrested before, but most of that doesn't happen. Because sometimes song lyrics are used, like Bobby Shmurda and TK, for example. Sometimes they're a big part of the investigation in the people.
Okay, I never.
It's just a there's people that found a way around it.
Can you tell me the story behind that? Cause I don't know the full rundown of Bobby Shmurda and TK.
TK, the story of TK is basically him and his friend wanted to have sex with this girl. She wouldn't let him, and shot the girl to death, which as a normal person would do when being rejected. Like, we've all been there. Come on, guys. But after that happens, he's then on the run. He breaks into people's houses and shit.
Is that what the race is about?
That's what the race is about. He's literally by his wanted picture.
Yeah.
Then that's also what I Love My Chop was about. I was cruising down the street, full deep.
You're not wrong.
Bitches when he yappa on me.
And everybody was just singing it.
Everybody was singing it.
I remember that.
Hell, even last year, the Who I Smoke song, it was like, it was set to the one song from White Chicks. And do you think time will pass me by? And then it's like, who I smoke, baby, who I smoke.
It's so bad. But like, okay, going to the rapping and everything. So do you feel like, for people that are part of gang violence, so like Pop Smoke, for example, what was the Wu Crew and who else?
Wu and Chu, pretty
Wu
sure.
Chu.
I watched a bunch of videos on this last year. I'll be honest with you, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember much.
Because I was playing 2K while I was watching them.
Yeah, I watch videos on it. I try to stay cultured as much as I can, but
yeah, I know.
The thing is, though, like going to my argument or going to my question, then is, what do you feel like? Do you feel like those rappers should, like, they use the music to try to get out of everything, right? Do you feel like they truly do, or do you still think some of them are part of it?
Here's the thing, right? Some of them definitely are part of it. You look at people like King Von, like a couple months ago, it came out that King Von killed Kakira Barnes. You don't know who Kakira Barnes is, but this was basically like 15, I think 17, from the ages of like 14 to 17-year-old girl who was like one of the top drillers, like the people who would actually kill people in Chicago. It was insane. And her and Von had like a back and forth on Twitter where Von was kind of flirting with her but also threatening her life. And then he's mentioned her name in multiple songs. And then the first 100K Von got, you know what he did? Went to the hood. Well, not to the hood. He went back to O Block. I don't like calling it the hood. That makes me sound racist. But he went back to O Block and he handed out, money to all his shooters to buy guns. And he filmed it. So there's some people who are really about it. There's also some people who aren't about it, or they used to be about it, but they know that it's better. It's better to live this life. Like, we don't have to actually kill people.
But
that's another thing I want to bring up.
Do they get retaliation for that then?
What do you mean?
If they try to leave?
It's not like the mob. It's not like the mob. That's one good thing. Like, where it's not like, oh, once you're in, you know too much, you need to die. Some places are like that, but usually, because a lot of rappers usually put on their friends after they get famous, they don't hand out money to buy guns usually they hand out money, okay, go to school, go do this, learn a trade or something like that to get them in a better situation. That's what they'll usually do. But there are some that do the opposite, and that's usually why rappers don't get retaliated on after they blow up. And another thing is, I don't know why, and this is just a side tangent. It's about the subject though. Lil Durk, a lot of times on Twitter, he constantly gets spammed by white kids. They're like, "Why haven't you slid for Von yet? Why haven't you slid for Von yet?" So what? He has to. He's he a hoe for real for not sliding for Von. Like, dude, come on. Why does someone need to commit gang violence to be respected? Why does someone need to shoot someone to be respected? It's the same thing with the baby. No one listened to him before he killed that fucker in Walmart. Like, as hard as it is, like, to say that's what blew him up. That's what got him popular. So I don't know why violence, like murder, quite possibly, I think rape is worse than murder because there's no possible motive for rape ever. That's, understandable. I think that's worse than murder. There is possible motive for murder, but like motiveless murder, like without a reason, like not someone who's threatening your life or something like that, or someone who is bad for you and your family. Like, okay, it's weird. Murder, there's some gray area. There's no gray area with rape. That's a side note from the side note, but
it's a triple side note.
Let me get back to, why do we have to celebrate that? Why do we have to celebrate murder?
It's dumb.
It is dumb. It should not be the thing that, qualifies someone or certifies someone. Oh, this guy has 13 bodies, this guy has 10 bodies, this guy's G. Like, no. How about they make good music, they're living their best lives, and they were able to get out of the situation where they thought they were going to get murdered every day, and now they're living top 1% lives. So I don't know why it's a problem.
They're bringing their friends with them for the most part.
Yeah, except a lot of times they do.
I feel like to a certain extent when the fame.
Well, they're not going to just give out money to them. They're going to fund, certain expenditures. Whether it be going to school, going to trade school or something like that.